Hey, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is July 2nd, 2023. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security, and I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. A couple housekeeping things. First off, I'm using DeepView as my charting software, and I use it for its amazing screener. If you're interested, deepview.com. What else? We got Trader Lion. They are doing a masterclass on. So this is really interesting, actually. It is historical analysis masterclass with John Boyk, who's obviously the historian for FinTwit, basically. And they are analyzing all the past cycles, market cycles analyzed, monster stocks, again, training our eyes, special guests, textbooks. They're giving away, I think, 2 free ebooks, right? One is how to make money in stocks. It's by the way, this is the charge for it. But there are 10 live webinars, 2 ebooks, how to make money in stocks and monster stocks lessons, workbooks. But I think the more important thing for me, I haven't studied historical charts not nearly enough. So for me, a masterclass like this is amazing. So for a very small amount of money, I can shave, weeks of studying off of my to-do list, right? So my time is saved because John did the work for me and is giving me what I need to know. So it's really interesting. If you're interested, traderlion.com. I'll link to it down below as well, in the comments section or in the description section of the video. All right. And last is you can find me on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. I have a subscription as well. If you like my content, it's $10 a month. I feel like I provide pretty good value for that. We were real cautious at the beginning of May, and as May went on, we got more aggressive into the market, and into June, we were very aggressive in this market. And that's one of my goals. One of my stated goals is to keep people on the right side of the market and in the best names possible. So there is that at Alpha Charts 365 on Twitter. Okay. Let's get into the charts. S&P 500 right now, everything looks good. If you watch the state of the market yesterday, it's hard to find a bad chart. Not saying that we're not going to get a pullback or even maybe this gap fill right here. But that being said, overall, we're in a bullish part of the market cycle. So let's get to a few names. First one is Arlo. Right, Arlo. All right, so here's Arlo, right? And I love that DeepView now has anchored VWAP. I'm going to change the color of this. Get in there. Visibility, style, there we go. I like it to be yellow, and I like it to be thicker. There we go. And there's the VWAP from there, right? So some sellers showing up here, but let's wait, see. My guess would be it's going to undercut the VWAP, and then when it comes back around is when I'd want to get involved with this particular name. It doesn't have to do that, but that's what I'm kind of watching for. That's the setup I like. And so I will be patient, but this is why there's a watch list video, right? Next up is Meta, right? So Facebook, look at this beautiful little flat base here, right? I mean, that's just like nice tight consolidation right over here. Within the context of an uptrend, looks fantastic, right? So again, Meta's looking great. Here's ONNN. And so this was the prior issues back here, and I could actually probably go a little higher with that and pull it back across here. And you see it's coming up to this area. I mean, there's a few too many lines on here for my liking. I'm just going to delete them. There we go. So now we're starting to get, tap again against this area. Would like to see maybe one more pullback and then a breakout, right? That's what I would love to see. And are these here? Yes, good. Oh, you know what? You can't really see that line since I changed the background, right? So let's just change that out. Style. We're going to go, and I'll just go to a darker blue. Aqua, whatever that color that is. All right, perfect. You see it's in a beautiful uptrend. And again, hopefully these charts are easier for everyone to see. Airbnb, but it has to, kind of maybe pull back and break out. Airbnb is next. So we have this very distinct area right here, which has been support and resistance literally since this came on the market, right? You see how it's just been binary right in this area. So let's see what happens, right? It's trying to break out. If it can move higher and break, 130, 131-ish, right? That would be the next move higher. And then we could definitely, we can manage risk in this pink zone, right? So it's Airbnb, ARRY. Some solar names are looking okay. We watched ARRY for a long time. And we thought back here was going to be good and just kind of has pulled back every time. But if you notice, the pullbacks, for the most part, have been shallower and shallower and shallower. Mark Manvini calls this a VCP, right? Volume contractility pattern. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, right? Is a VCP. Now, we don't know if this is going to, this will be the time, or if it's going to get back up here and need to pull back one more time, even shallower. But I do think that this area, we'll call it 2150-ish, is the area to manage risk against, right? For below 2150, no reason to be involved in this name. For above it, well, why not? And you see how this is the trend line, and there's your trend line break right there. So good looking name there in ARRY. ALGM. Again, kind of got wide and loose here, and I denoted that with these lines. And now it's starting to firm back up again. We have a 50-day that's curling back up. 200-day is still rising. And so now we'll see what happens with this one a little bit. Again, I like this current price action, and I like it since this area down here. If we saw a VWAP from the bottom, you see it's still way below, so that's fine. I don't think it helps at all. So anyway, but this is a good looking chart. ALGM, MCHP, another semiconductor name. So this one, a little more organized, right, than ALGM. Love the way that's trying to break out. Again, may have gotten a little bit ahead of itself. What I would really like to see happen is maybe a little pullback, just a little one, maybe for a day or two, and then a move higher, right? That would be ideal. Let these moving averages catch up, maybe close that gap at 87 change. Doesn't have to do a full gap close, but yeah, a little gap close right there, 87.25, and then move higher. That would be really bullish at that point. Holding the moving averages, everything's turning back up. Looks very good, this MCHP. PLTK, I think it's a mobile gaming platform, Playtika. Again, it's been in a terrible downtrend. Let's see where that is. Yeah, so terrible downtrend, but let's zoom into the more recent price action. And you can see how it's now making higher highs and higher lows. Nice uptrend starting to build out. 200-day is curling back up. So, this is next the area, right? That now has to kind of, get beat, for lack of a better term. Right. So we have this kind of cup, maybe a little handle here, right? We'll see if that plays out or not. But you could play this as a cup and handle, and then upon beating $12 or something like that, you could potentially get long and manage your risk against there. But overall, not a bad looking name. GFL, we've talked about this one in the past. It just continues to rise, man. It just keeps going up and up and up. It's not the fastest mover, but the trend is right. I think it could probably go another at least 10% to these all-time highs or near all-time highs. And that would make sense, right? Just a nice steady climb higher. If that's what you're looking for, that's GFL. GLBE, this is one I actually have a position in this one. It's done very well. I started my position back in here. I've talked about this one in the past. But overall, great looking. I love this dry up right here. And then it broke out. Nice strong move, 4% day, right? Almost 5%, another 2%, and then another 1.64. That's a strong move out of this consolidation. Love how it broke out of this, whether you want to call it cup and handle, base, whatever. There's your little handle right there, and then moved higher. So nice looking name right there. Any consolidation could be a buy period. And the last one is app loving. So this one, again, traded it back in this section right over here, avoided it via this section, and now it's coming back around. You have the 200-day starting to flatten out. Bullshit line moving averages. We're going to zoom in just a little bit more, and you can see how this area right here has some potential. Now, again, it may need a little bit more time. We'll see. But overall, it looks pretty good. And I love how it's starting to really, again, get these moving averages kind of spun around. So there you go. There's a whole bunch of names for you to consider this week. Remember, half day on Tuesday, half day on Monday, markets close on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Plus, this is a big time vacation week, especially in the US. So I would expect this week and probably the next couple of weeks to be maybe later volume, maybe a little more whipsaw type action in the markets because of that. Okay. Y'all be careful out there. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.